time has finally come. I've now seen Justice League. This movie has been my most anticipated movie in the entire year. I've been waiting for this movie for a long time. And I gotta say, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good movie. And despite all the flaws that it has, and yeah, it's got flaws, but, you know, most movies do. Despite its flaws, yeah, I thought it was really good. The good, I think, far outweighs the bad. Despite the fact that I think it could have been much better. I saw it twice. First time I saw it in IMAX on opening day, and that was a really fun experience. The theatre was full, and I could tell that all the people in the theatre were DC fans. Like, well, at least the majority of them were. Because just, you know, certain characters have cameos and the audience cheer. There's an after credits scene and the audience cheered. And it was just a really fun experience. The second time I saw it, it was just with a regular general audience in a cinema, and they seemed to love it as well. All in all, it's a good movie. Not a great movie, not a bad movie, a good movie. So I will start this review off by saying what I didn't like about the movie. First off, it's pretty obvious who directed what scenes, at least for me, and probably for other people who are used to watching a lot of movies, who are used to noticing editing things, who are used to noticing just general little goofs that happen in movies, whether it be shoddy green screen or weird VFX trickery, noticeable VFX, I mean. And most of the VFX in the movie is amazing. It's all really good. It's like the same caliber as most comic book blockbusters. The only actual flaws I could see is a few bad green screen moments during some of Joss Whedon's reshoots. I guess they couldn't shoot on location when he was doing his reshoots, so I guess they had to use green screen. During the scene with Aquaman and the scene with the Flash, it's a bit noticeable. Now, right off the bat, Henry Cavill is in this movie. Not going to say when, not going to say how, not going to spoil that part of the movie, apart from the fact that he's in it. And unfortunately, the reshoots are most obvious when taking into account his mustache removal surgery. Digital mustache removal. So his mouth does move a little weirdly in a few tiny moments. It's barely noticeable unless you're used to looking for that kind of thing. Most of the VFX in the movie is great, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Steppenwolf, I don't know why people are saying he's a bad villain. I thought it was good, but that might have something to do with the fact that I'm a comic book nerd and I know his motivation. It's easy to tell what scenes are shot by the original director, Zack Snyder, and what scenes are shot with the replacement director, Joss Whedon. Namely because Joss Whedon thought it'd be appropriate to add Avengers-level dialogue to a movie like Justice League. They're not the same movie, Joss. You can't just make the characters say things that you think are funny, despite it not fitting within the movie. There are a few one-liners and jokes here and there that just don't land because of the fact that they don't really fit within the tone of the movie. It's not a fun movie. It's not light-hearted. It is more fun and light-hearted than Batman v Superman is, but that was the intention from the beginning. They were always intending for Justice League to be lighter in tone than Batman v Superman. But to call this movie lighthearted would be doing it an injustice. Yes, that is a pun. But it's not dark. It's not dark and gritty like Batman v Superman is. It's its own tone. It's a similar tone to Man of Steel or Wonder Woman. For the majority of the movie, it actually takes itself quite seriously, apart from the few Joss Whedon bits here and there. And that's why I think that those bits aren't very good. Like, Flash goes on this little mini rant about brunch that is incredibly out of place. But most of it is forgivable. So I'm forgiving of all these other jokes because that's the thing about comedy. Not every single joke's gonna land. What I think isn't funny, other people will think is hilarious. There are bits that I didn't laugh at that people laughed at during the movie, and bits that other people didn't laugh at that I did laugh at. There are plenty of moments in Batman v Superman that are actually really funny. A lot of Alfred's lines are quite humorous. I don't know why people say that the movie is devoid of humor, but I digress. The humor in Justice League is like 80% good. My other main disappointment with this movie is its running time. I was always skeptical of this running time as soon as it was announced, that the movie would be 2 hours. The shortest of all the movies in this franchise, but the one with the most weight to hold. The one with the most story to tell. Why, oh why, did they think it was a good idea to cut out 50 minutes of the movie? Well, an intended 50 minutes. Why, oh why, did they think it would be a good idea, from a storytelling perspective, to make this movie 2 hours? I understand financially that they thought it'd be a good idea because then they'd be able to fit more screenings in a day. But, unfortunately, it's a detriment to the film itself. The movie needs a lot more just character building moments and general breathing time. It's just too short. Like, even an extra 10 minutes would be fine. Make it the same length as Man of Steel, I don't care, but 2 hours is just too short. Other than those little flaws though, I loved it. It's got great character moments. All the characters are really well fleshed out. Like, they're given their own little good backstories. A little more wouldn't hurt, but the bits that we're given are all great. Cyborg and Flash really steal the show, especially the Flash. He's really funny. The actual story involving Steppenwolf, I thought it was really good. It might just be because I'm a comic book fan. I mean, it explains it very well within the movie, so I don't see really much of a problem with the actual character, other than the fact that he's just defeated a little too easy. But who cares? The movie's focusing on the heroes. It's not really focusing on the villain. So the fact that the villain is as good as he is on his own is just a testament to the storytelling. The actual story itself is really good. I really enjoyed the story that they went with. The cinematography, for the most part, is fantastic. It's much more colourful than Batman v Superman, which is understandable, and it's just generally really good. A lot of the action scenes are choreographed fantastically, and they work well with the VFX of Parademons and Cyborg and all the other... I mean, you're gonna need a lot of visual effects for a movie like this. The soundtrack, unfortunately, is one of the film's weakest points. Batman v Superman, Man of Steel, Wonder Woman all had wonderful soundtracks. Beautiful soundtracks. Batman v Superman's soundtrack is one of my favourite movie soundtracks of all time. It's just phenomenal. The fact that they just got Danny Elfman on last minute and he did a very half-assed job, it's just disappointing. It's very heartbreaking. The movie soundtrack is just dull. It's not bad, but it's not good. It's just boring. It doesn't take anything away from the movie, but it doesn't add anything. The way that they handled Superman's storyline in this movie is incredible. Spoilers, he comes back to life. And the way that they did that was really cool. I really enjoyed how they brought him back. It wasn't at all what I was expecting, but it actually lived up to my expectations, and I thought it was really well handled. And his character moments at the very end, while a little bit cheesy, are expected. He's Superman. He's just got this extra energy to him from coming back to life. I thought it was fine. It didn't feel too on the nose, and it didn't feel too different to how I thought Henry Cavill would come back to life. The other character moments throughout the movie are also really good. I loved the tension between Batman and Wonder Woman. The tension between the whole group actually was really good. Flash was obviously the steam sealer because he's the comic relief of the group. Cyborg, I think, got some of the coolest character development, just starting off hating his gifts and then embracing them by the very end. It was really cool. All in all, I really enjoyed the movie. It's just unfortunate that we didn't get Zack Snyder's original cut from the movie. Hopefully, a lot of fans have banded together and are basically demanding a director's cut of the movie from Zack Snyder. So, fingers crossed, we get it, hopefully. For home release, obviously. Like the Ultimate Cut. Which is obviously the superior version to Batman v Superman. That's just my personal opinion about Justice League. Please tell me your opinions on Justice League in the comment section below, whether or not you agreed with what I was saying, whether or not you disagreed with what I was saying, what you liked, what you didn't like about the movie. I highly look forward to seeing future Justice League movies, especially considering Jeff Johns has now like full control over the DC movies now. So if Justice League is bad, then hopefully it'll be the last bad DC movie, and we'll get more movies like Wonder Woman, movies that are good for the fans and for the general audience and for the critics. Because Jeff Johns is like the man when it comes to DC. So, yeah.